What is up, my original bagels, and welcome to our Call of Duty gameplay slash commentary. But what I want to talk about today is Gfinity. So before I get into it, I just want to say that more or less every Gfinity event is always good, and when the North Americans come over, they play this year anyway. They played kind of ads that players that they play that are good. They're not the same as the MLG still ads with their sponsors. They actually get people involved in their ads, as in KSI, Sidemen, and the guy from You Want Some. I don't know who the fuck he is. I've heard of him, and I've seen it, but I don't know what his name is. And then they were doing ones with the casters and some with the pro players as well. And I have to admit, it was very well done throughout, and Sharp is just brilliant in the Gfinity sign up one. And I also want to say that Gfinity was probably one of the smartest, because I've never seen this done. It's called Mr. and Mrs. So basically it's a actual thing in real life as well that they do on game shows and that. But this was TP and Aches, and I really thought they'd do a lot better with this. They only asked some kind of small little things, like what's their favourite country in the EU. They asked TP this, and he goes France. He hated France, so he'd love England. What's your favourite COD? I think he said Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops 2, and he said without a doubt Black Ops 2. Then it was it was some other thing as well, that like what's their fucking favourite food or some bullshit like that, and he got them all right, not wrong. And then for the 7th one, TP said to Aches that at the count of 3, your best Call of Duty map from any game, and he goes 3, 2, 1, and they both say Scrapyard. And I was just like, oh my god, these guys they know each other inside out. This is what a duo for that many years is, or are, basically. But let's get into the placings. 13th to 16th, VWS, Liquid Gaming, IGI Esports, and Spirit Gaming. Not really much to say on this, wasn't a huge surprise. 9th to 12th, Hyper Games, Team Caliber, Rise Nation, TCM Gaming. 5th to 8th, Team Elevate, Team Epsilon, Team Vitality, they all got 2,500 each. Team Infused, Team Infused came 4th, getting 5 grand. 3rd, Optic Nation getting 10 grand. And Optic Gaming coming 2nd, getting 25 grand. And of course FaZe Clan coming 1st and getting 50 grand. TK should have done a lot better. They had some good moments and kind of some bad moments, but they didn't go off together, and that kind of let them down. Rise Nation with Burns and Applity, they should have done a lot better, but I don't know why they didn't. TCM, they should have done a lot better with TP, Aches, Jordan, Moose. But I kind of feel bad about this team, because they have 2 duos, and then they have like another duo. Basically this team is a duos, Aches and TP, Jordan, Moose. But I can't really knock them. 2 English, 2 Americans, like 2 EU, 2 Americans, like you can't really knock them to be doing together, because the Europeans wouldn't be on such a high level as the Americans. Elevate, didn't really think they would do great, because they had 2 players from Denial. Denial and Elevate teamed together. So, because Saints couldn't travel out of America because they're illegal immigrants. Because he's a legal immigrant, but I'm only messing about that. TJ Haley was too young for the event, and that's why he wasn't allowed to go either. Team Envious, I really thought they would come top 4, but they didn't. Envy kind of were that team that because they didn't have a great event, it was on the fact that they had to play FaZe, they lost to. Hyper Games, they won. And Optic Gaming, that they lost to. So it was more bad luck than anything else for them. Then Epsilon, they seem to have too many, like an argument about something when they were playing Optic Nation, that someone from the crowd or a caster said something too loud, and Mochilla heard and killed him, and so they got kind of annoyed with that and all that. Then Team Vitality, they put up a great match against Optic Gaming, winning Solar S&D. They won both S&Ds, only just won Solar S&D 6-5. They were 5-1 up, I think it was, and then Optic Gaming started coming back, and everybody in the chat was going like Optic Gaming train hype and all this shit, but I stuck by Vitality and I knew they would go and win it. And then going into comeback uplink, it went into overtime, but Tommy and Watson, really, these two showed up in this series, and they got a 1-pointer in overtime in 28 seconds, but then they lost that on the 9-second mark, where Crimsix, I think, got the ball because Karma got a 2-piece or something, and he just threw it in and they won. Team Infused, this was an upset, really. Lots of teams didn't think they would do as good as they did, but they played really well. And for people that don't know what the roster is, it's Quicker, Marky B, LXD and Urban. LXD, Quicker and Urban all had crazy like moments, and Marky B was more of that consistent kind of guy. And then Optic Nation, they placed third, which I didn't think the Optic Nation would. I thought they'd come fourth, maybe fifth. But if I'm right, Optic Nation from this game have not placed outside top 5. They have not placed out top 5 out of any of AW so far, like, I think. They all played great, and it wasn't a really surprise that they would place this. It was a surprise that they would place this height, but wasn't surprised that they would get into the top 5. Then in the best of 7 in the grand final, it was FaZe taking on Optic Gaming, but it went all the way to game 7. So the first game was Solar Hardpoint 207 to 243 to Optic Gaming. Biolab S&D 6-0 to Optic Gaming, and I really thought FaZe were just going to get destroyed from this. Comeback uplink 12 to 4. Clayster really driving the team when they went into a listening. And I think it was after that game, he got up and started talking to his teammates, telling them what to do and how to do it and all that. And they were listening, like the whole FaZe team just listens to him, because he's just that kind of guy that you have to listen to him because he's just such a good player. Optic Gaming's best map were a 3 Hardpoint 201 to 248. Optic Gaming, of course, taking that. Recovery 6-4 to FaZe. This was one of the closest games. I think it was the second closest games out of S&D, like, of this tournament. I think 6-5 was the closest. And then Optic Gaming only needed to win one more to be crowned champions. Detroit Uplink, FaZe wins 13-8. So then it went to game 7 and Twitter absolutely exploded. And I think they got one of the largest viewings for that final, 97,000 for the grand final. And Retreat S&D, FaZe won 4 straight rounds, and of course FaZe won 2 events in a row now. I know I said 4 straight rounds, but then Optic came back and then it went to 6-4 I think again, or something like that, and they won. FaZe did. Optic Gaming and FaZe Clan are basically the two titans now of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It was some of the small players from Zuma, Clayster and them attached as well, that basically won it for them. So hopefully FaZe and Optic Gaming aren't going to make roster changes because they don't need it. Both teams work perfectly together. So now the top 5 KDs from this event I shall get into. Number 1 was Replays. Replays played absolutely amazing with a 1.32 KD. Number 2 was Octane with a 1.29. Third, Slasher with a 1.25. Watson with a 1.23 came fourth. Fifth, Mochilla 1.22. He's one of the most dominant BAL AOR players in the game, or in Call of Duty, to be honest. I like to thank Gfinity for holding this event. It was actually a really good event, and the ads that they do are really, really good as well. And congrats to FaZe Clan for winning it. I wasn't really surprised because they have such a good team, but would this team do as good as they did if they didn't have Clayster? Say Clayster was on Optic Gaming for Formal. If they switched, what would that team be like then? Would FaZe be winning would FaZe put up such a big strong fight? And really, I don't think they would. But yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you like, favorite, and subscribe. This has been your boy ORiGiNALz signing off.